Hey guys, it's your girl Ayesha Shasha, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made this relaxing glitter shaker bottle charm. Now I'm going to be using the products from the Sophie and Toffee November Elves box, and I know you've already seen me do a bottle shaker from this box before, but I was using one of the other molds, and this time I wanted to try out this mold but also to do the bottom of it with shaker film and see how that turns out. Now I'm showing you here something that I do with all of my molds before I start. I don't often show this, but I like to use some tape. It can either be sellotape, duct tape, bezel tape, whatever kind of tape, and just really clean my area and clean the molds, because you just don't want to have little bits of debris, little bits of glitter or fluff or lint or hair or whatever getting trapped inside of your shaker, because it's super annoying. So using a little bit of tape on your silicone surface or your table, wherever it is that you're working, it really will help. Now what I'm doing here is just mixing up a very nice little baby pink kind of mixture with some glitter, and I'm just very gently putting that into the lid part of the shaker, and then I've just cured it with my UV lamp. And now I am taping both sides together. You want to really take your time when it comes to putting the mold together, because obviously you don't want to have any leakages or anything. And yes, do tape around it quite a few times to make sure it all stays in place. What I'm doing here is I am pretty much filling up the mold. I mean, about maybe say 3/4 of the way. And I'm very slowly turning it around, making sure it gets into all the little nooks and crannies, and then pouring out the resin into a little silicone cup and curing that. And I do that process about 3 times just to make sure that the bottle comes out nice and sturdy. Once that's all done, it's time to snip off the edges and to carefully open up the mold, and you should have a bottle that looks a little something like this. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised with how clear that this was, but unfortunately it didn't stay like that, but it's kind of my fault. You'll see why in just a moment. So now what you want to do is make sure that you snip off any excess around like the sides of the bottle, and I used my electric file to just sort of like file off any extra bits here on the top and also around the bottom here. But as you can see, all of the dust is actually going inside of the bottle. I then went to wash the bottle out, and I found that it kind of made the resin go a little bit cloudy. So it's not as clear as I would have liked, but I did end up actually doming over this later, so it got back most of its clarity anyway. Now it's time to add in the glitter. This is the glitter mix that actually came in the box. It's a beautiful mix of purples and blues, and then I just added in all sorts of different glitters that I had. I wanted to have a real sort of like variety in this bottle, because when you shake it up and then just watch everything fall, it's really nice to see like the super fine glitter fall last. So yeah, I just decided to go for like completely different shapes and different styles, different colors, just to make it a bit more interesting. So once the oil was put in, it was then time to add the UV resin around the perimeter of the base of the bottle, and then to pop on some of the transparent shaker film as well. Now you can of course use the lid mold that comes with the box, but me personally, I think that the shaker film is a better bet, just because it's a lot flatter and you don't have to deal with a hell of a lot of sanding down afterwards. As I said earlier, I did decide to go ahead and dome all over this bottle again, just because I wanted to get back some of the clarity that I had lost before. And I'm actually quite happy with the way that this turned out in the end. Now, in order for me to conceal that join that is very prominent on the top of the lid there, I just went over it with the remainder of my baby pink resin that I'd mixed previously, and I added in some more glitter, because you can never have too much glitter. And then I added on a tiny little bail on the top, just so that I was then able to attach it to one of the keyring fobs that we got in our box. I also attached a cute little bow to it as well, just to give the charm some extra charm, I suppose. So this is the finished product. I actually really do like the way that it turned out. Whilst I was doing it, I was a little bit unsure because of obviously it losing some of the clarity, but I do think I managed to get it back just fine. If you enjoyed this video and if you learned something, then don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. Take care, my darlings, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.